Hey guys, Rogorge here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we have another DS prototype. This one, of course, coming from a fan. I'm going to call her Tenko, because that's what she goes by on Discord. She sold this to me because she heard I was interested in DS prototypes, and she also wanted me to shout out her channel, so I'm going to put it on screen right there. So go ahead and subscribe. It would really help her out. Anyways, this is a DS prototype from EA. And what this is it's actually a debug build of the Simpsons game for the DS. But there is so much going on with this that it's gonna take a lot of explaining. Now, with these prototypes, I often don't do it, but I took the ROM file into HXD, which is a great tool to help you dig through the code of any prototype software. And I tippity-tappitied on my computer, and lo and behold, I was able to find the build date for this game, which was March 16th, 2007, which is actually 228 days before the October 30th US release of this game. And from what I'm about to show you, I fully believe that this game is more than just a debug build. Alright, and you're going to see when it starts up some very basic company splash screens with no sound or moving pictures, kind of just playing images, and I nearly just risked copyright right there to have that music start playing. But yeah, we're gonna start off with the main menu here. The main menu looks very different. If you've ever played the retail version, you're gonna see just how different it does look. The big sign is the background has been changed significantly. The TV on the bottom looks very, very different. And going into the options, the sliders that are red bars in the retail version are these hands, which don't have anything accompanying them. It's just the icon, which I think is incredibly unique to this version. And of course the working title of The Simpsons DS. It was not called The Simpsons Game 6 months out from release, believe it or not, which I think is quite interesting, that maybe they were looking to go with The Simpsons and then insert platform here, but then they decided to release the game on every platform to market the theatrical release of the movie, only for them to realize that that was probably very difficult to copyright and trademark all of those names. So they kind of just went with The Simpsons Game for all of them, which makes it very easy to get them confused on Google when you're trying to find the actual release date of these games. But yeah, we're just going to go into the first level, and we're going to play it and see what graphically looks different in the actual gameplay itself. Alright, we're going to put Homer to sleep with a chocolate, which puts us into the first level. And in the first level, you're going to notice immediately the HUD looks very different. The helium Homer is already enabled on the bottom left, the meter for it anyhow, which if you played the retail version, you have to unlock helium Homer before you ever see that. And on top of that, the health bar that's normally down where the helium Homer meter is on top, on the top left with the hearts instead of the solid red bar to represent the health. And I don't know if you saw it when we loaded in, but the dialogue boxes also look very different. You see it right there. The font as well as the overall design is not the same as retail. And when we kick the carts, the sound for that does not exist, as well as the Duff beer cap that would be in this exact spot here. So definitely some missing assets, as well as collectibles, as well as just missing sound files, which were either not added yet or just not implemented into the actual level. So now we get to try and kind of just play through this level and see if we can notice anything else. Yeah, usually in the retail version, the chocolate bunnies are talking smack to you, and they're very, very mean. And Homer actually compliments the comments about the cake. Oh, and you're gonna see there that the Helium Homer transform. In the retail version, he falls through the cake, but in this version, he doesn't have quite the animation there for that yet. But we do turn into Helium Homer, and we do get the end stage here. And so far, so good. Nothing seems out of place. And yeah, very glitchy there. And we collected 2 out of 5 video game cliches, which were also not marked. I didn't know which ones we actually got. But then you have the overall level end design looking very, very different. The Simpsons DS makeshift logo, of course, and then the orange background with the land of chocolate being very different. A lot of just graphical differences is mainly what I'm noticing, and also some missing stuff in general. But we're going to head back into the land of chocolate level, and this is where we're going to be able to open up our debug menu without totally breaking the game. So holding both triggers and pressing start and select is going to bring us to the debug menu. And here we're going to go to test sound effects. We're going to just start hitting random ones here. These first 3 don't seem to want to play. And there's a bunch of them here. From the sound of it, not all of them work. And there's 102 different sound effects. We're not going to go through all of them, obviously, but just to show you that some of the sounds do work, some of them don't. It's whatever, you know. And then you have debug fly, which is always a great debug sample. Oh, and then we just hit the Y button to activate the fly. And there we go. We are flying through the air. Can we... Oh, and now we're Helium Homer, which we have our bar full, which is nice. Which, speaking of, if we go to the debug menu, we can actually enable it by default. We don't even need to play through the level initially to even get the Helium Homer. Then we have challenge modes, which I assume are just like the regular ones. And it says we failed. I'm not sure how we failed, considering we haven't done anything. But that's okay, I guess. We're going to head back into the thought bubble level. Then we got the triggers and the start and select. And we're going to go to maps. There's a couple of them here I do want to try out here. And we're going to go to test mob pathing. Homer is simply in a T-pose. Very unique. And what this test area does is you can recruit different like companions and whatnot to follow you around, and this kind of just tests their pathing. And some characters, like Comic Book Guy, they do have voice lines. Some people, like Groundskeeper Willie, do not have voice lines when you try to recruit them, which is perfectly okay. And there's going to be guys like Barney.
We did it. Who wants to make out with me?
Text to speech. Text to speech. It's great. And then you go to the pause menu and unpause, and it breaks the damn level. Yeah, this just happens with every level. You go into the pause menu, then you unpause, and it just breaks. So a lot of these levels are very unstable for that reason. It's very very difficult to pinpoint why this happens as a non-game development person, but all I know is that it happens. The game just randomly breaks. But another test map that has my attention is Test Android's Dungeon. So when we select that, it kind of works. It works when you have the Debug fly on. But then there we go, we broke it again. But we're gonna turn off Debug fly, and you'll understand why the Debug fly is on, because Homer just gets stuck in this perpetual, endless free fall loop because there's no collision with the ground, and he just constantly just dies over and over again because he has nowhere to stand. And then we're gonna go back and we're gonna go to the Test Jebediah, and this one is this one wins the award for being uninteresting because it's just the center statue of Jebediah in the center of Springfield, and it's kind of just here. There's nothing else going on. It's just an endless run in any direction. It's probably one of the more underwhelming ones, but there is one more that I wanna see here. Test Frogger. Oh, Lisa, what did they do to you with that jumping animation? Oh no. What is wrong with your head, girl? And there's even a freaking there's even a little message that pops up when you jump. It says clean up, which means that this was done to tell the other devs, like, hey, this needs fixed. And then we'll go back into the pause menu and unpause, and now the game's broken again. And now it's even more broken, which I just think it's just so much fun. I know I keep saying we're gonna move on, but there's still one more map that I want to see here. Test Gym. Nice. That's what I do love that about these test levels, is that some of them have these like inside jokes with the devs, and I just think that's fun. Probably have to blur those out when I edit this video, but it's just fun to see little Easter eggs like that here. Yeah, but that's really all there is to see, to be completely honest with you. A lot of the test maps are kind of just there. They really don't do too much. I still think they're cool either way. I'm not gonna complain about them. I mean, the fact that we can go to these test maps at all with this debug menu, I think is hella dope. I just think it's so cool. Anyways, through the magical power of editing, I'm going to get off of this version of the Simpsons game, and I'm gonna see you on the retail version. All right, and it loads in, and you're gonna see right away we got a bunch of different copyrights for the Simpsons, for Electronic Arts, and you're gonna see even the EA logo is now animated, as well as the 20th Century Fox logo, which is a new addition. And the Gracie Films is now also animated, as well as the Actimagine video codec added. And none of those were on the actual, a few of those actually weren't on the original splash screen of the prototype. Plus, they actually took up both screens. This time it just takes up the bottom screen, which I find kind of unique. And we go to the menu here, and you're going to see it just looks very, very different. The menu options looks very different compared to the prototype, as well as the Simpsons game logo up top, which in the prototype it said the Simpsons DS, kind of just slapped together in Photoshop real quick. This one looks a lot more refined, a lot more put together, looks very professional. And if we go down to the options here, you're going to see the the bars for the volume do not have that little icon on the end of them anymore. They are all just the plain red bars. And we're gonna go and do a game and see what else is different.
Why can't Springfield be this delicious?
And you're gonna see the dialogue box up top that that tells you the controls. That is also very different. It's not just a black plain box. It's like kind of like a thought bubble almost.
And it's so chocolatey.
And those Duff caps, I don't think those are in the prototype either. I think those were added here in the final release. And the health bar, you're going to notice, instead of being at the top of the bottom screen and being a row of hearts, is now moved to the bottom of the top of the bottom screen, and it's now just a red bar. And there's definitely some audio differences. There's a lot more dialogue and a lot more sound effects.
This place is way better than Vitamin Chocolate.
You've ruined our utopia!
I want to pet the bunny!
You want a piece of this?
I want to pet the bunny! Let's see how you hop without a head. Now who's the idiot?
Worst video game cliche ever.
Friggin' comic book guy.
If I break off your ear,
If you can't do the tutorial, you're really in trouble.
I hate know-it-all chocolate.
Wait, is that
Even my birthday.
Mr. Crocker? I just noticed that voice line. Is that Mr. Crocker? That might be the same voice actor. That's crazy. I didn't realize he worked on this game.
1989 car. It wants its fashion sense back.
Oh, that
Suck a carrot.
God, these chocolate bunnies are mean. Then we have our EA registered helium tank.
Not dreaming, not dreaming, not dreaming. What? Damn it, I was dreaming! Why is life so unfair? All I want is the ability to eat everything in sight and turn into a giant ball! Is that too much, Dad? Damn you, reality!
All right, that's a level. That's the opening level from the retail version of the Simpsons game. Definitely some audio differences. Some of the audio, like sound effects, voice lines, and stuff, were not present in the prototype. The Duff caps, I don't remember the Duff caps being in the prototype. I think those were also added. The dialogue bubbles obviously were a lot more refined. Yeah, I think this is just an overall pretty cool experience to be able to compare the retail and the prototype from several months before the game's release. I gotta say, this is pretty cool. And I've actually surprisingly never played the Simpsons game up to this point, but I may start playing it a little bit more, if I'm being honest. It's pretty fun. Anyways, that was a showcase of the Simpsons game prototype for the DS and how it compares to the retail version. Alright, I do want to release this prototype, but if you noticed earlier in the video, there were sections that I did blur out, whether I had to or not, and those test levels, because they had pictures of what I assume were the devs, and I imagine that even nowadays you would want to keep your privacy, keep those kind of things private, so I don't know how I would be able to release the prototype if those levels are included. But we'll cross that road when we get to it. I just think this is just awesome. Okay, this is just awesome. And of course, with all of these prototype overviews, look at these prototype items on my channel, it's never malicious in intent. It's never meant to defame or cause any issues. So, like I said, with this prototype, there are like some personal things in here, technically, like some inside jokes between the devs, and I'm sure we would want to keep that private, respect people's privacy, but I do want to release it. I just don't know how I want to go about it. Anyways, shout out to Tanko, who provided this cartridge. You have my biggest thanks, and once again, I'm going to shout out your channel because you asked me to so nicely. and frankly, you deserve it because you were very, very helpful in this whole thing. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to see more videos like this. Check out my channel page in case there's any behind the scenes or other updates you might be interested in. Shout out to Poggers, my channel sponsor. Use my code or the link in the description to save 10% on your order. All of my social links, be sure to follow me there, are also all down in the description. Anyways, my name has been Rogue Orange, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.